Welcome back. One more week have passed. Every day it seems to be so fast. The days, time passes by so fast. Okay, so before we begin, is there anybody else who has got any question to ask, any point to make, any comments to do? Okay, so if none, we had yesterday we had a session which was really good. Please, I try and give you the recording. We did the Gita session with the USA people. I'll forward that to some of you, those of you interested. You can follow that up. For tomorrow, we wish tomorrow is Eid festival. We call it Raya here. So it's a public holiday here, and Wednesday, Thursday is also a public holiday. So this is where we are. Okay, so let's have Sabaton has finished yesterday, last week. Whose turn is it today?
Today is group 3.
Okay, group 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sairam, it's group 3.
Okay. So shall we present?
Yes. Just a moment.
Is Sabaton here today, Billy? No.
He's not in yet.
Okay. But Billy, maybe you would like to share your experience that you went for that 2-3 days camp. Or why don't you tell everybody what was the experience? They had this silent workshop, which was quite uniquely carried out for 3 days.
The last Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we had what we call a silence retreat. This is the second time we're having such a retreat. What happened is this retreat was conducted by Dr. Sabitan, and where we were what they call enlightened on Swami's the significance of silence by Swami. So there's a very interesting story of a student, one of the students, Swami. He what they call make a vow to Swami. Okay, Swami, if I embark on silence, okay. What they call practice of silence, you must this was a video what they call made by Brother Arvind, and Swami, you will let me sit with you in your car. And true enough, this boy, he what they call he went on a fasting, silence for 15 days, and true enough, Swami allowed this boy to be seated in his car with him. So it's a very interesting thing. One of there are also a few unique meditation practice, and one of them is meditation in water, which I think after today's Satsang, I will post it in our group. First time ever, they meditate in the water, and then the sound of Om. Some very interesting practices, and overall there are about 33 participants, and everyone felt a deeper sense of appreciation for silence. And how Swami said that in silence there is a sound. And it was a very insightful retreat, and many of them who came expressed that the third one coming in September, they would like to come back again. So it was a very interesting satsang.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you, Billy. Thank you so much for sharing with us this experience that they had. Okay, Kamalesh.
Yes, brother. I'll just share the screen first.
Yes.
Oh, sorry. So I was asked to read the letter of Baba. Sairam, everyone. This is group 3 presenting today. So I would like to read the letter first, which Baba has written to the students. The topic is "Be like the star which never wavers from the crescent." Baba says, "Dear students, be like the star which never wavers from the crescent but is fixed in steady faith. When the sun is over your head, there will be no shadow. So too, when faith is steady in your heart, it should not cast any shadow of doubt. Do not talk ill of others. Talk only of the good in them. All are good. If you see bad in them, it is because there is bad in you. If you do not like someone, don't mix with them. Grace is the sunlight which will ripen the fruit. Sadhana is the sap which rises from earth. Both are needed by the tree in order that it may yield fruit. With blessings, Baba. Source is Prema Dhara, chapter 3 and para 3. Now, the points to consider in this letter are: what are the moments when doubts arise? In such moments, what has helped you regain a sense of steady faith? Second, Swami writes, if you see bad in others, it is because there is bad in you. Examine all those you consider bad and explore how you can work upon yourself to remove those bad traits in you. So we will discuss one by one point by one point. And the next is Sister Ginny. Please take over.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Sister Kamlesh. Saram, everyone. I think let's highlight some of what Swami wrote in his letter. Sister, can we have Swami's letter again?
Sure.
Thank you. Yeah. Let's highlight what Swami wrote in his letter. Okay. Swami in his letter he said, "Be like the star which never wavers from the crescent, but is fixed in steady faith." Now, what does this statement mean to us, and how does it apply to us? Huh? And then Swami also said, when faith is steady in your heart, it should not cast any shadow of doubt. So how have we experienced this? Huh? And also Swami said, all are good. If you see bad in them, it is because there is bad in you. So how do we understand this? This is quite a tough one. And Swami also said, grace is the sunlight which will ripen the fruit. Sadhana is the sap which rises from the earth. Both are needed by the tree in order that it may yield fruit. So maybe we can take this, like as what Swami said, sunlight is God's grace. And at sadhana, we can take it like, putting in human effort. And the tree is the combination of body, mind, and soul that is perpetually striving for spiritual growth. So the question is, what kind of efforts are we putting in to achieve this spiritual growth, to yield the fruits that we are working towards? So these are some of the things that our group members discussed about and shared. So yeah, Sister Kamlesh, we can carry on with the slides. Another one. Oh yeah. Okay, so our group members studied the above letter which Swami wrote, and we tried to understand why Swami tells us to be like the star which never wavers from the crescent. So we shared some interesting facts about this particular star and crescent and found that symbolically, the star and the crescent represent our relationship with God. So very appropriately, they symbolize the unwavering and constant faith one has in God. God is represented by the star. The moon reflects the light of the sun. In a similar way, we should be reflecting God's light, God's wisdom, love, compassion, and other divine attributes. The position of the star is in the middle of the 2 points of the crescent. You can see the picture up here, huh? And this completes the circle. And planetarily, the star that accompanies the moon is the planet Venus. and it is the second closest planet to the sun. It is sometimes referred to as the evening star, the polar star, or the North Star. Sairam, sister, we can move on. Okay, and during the discussion, Brother Manoj shared that this star is also called the polar star, and the polar star is also moving, but in relation to Earth, its position is always fixed. Mariners use that as a compass during their dark nights. And the steadiness of the polar star is also used in Indian marriages as an example of unwavering and steadfast love for one another. Similarly, I see this as our fixed faith towards Swami. And faith is an assuring feeling from within, like a child's faith in the mother. Actually, I forgot. I wonder if Brother Manoj is here this evening, because we would like Brother Manoj to share his thoughts. Anyway, I will move on first. And I said the star and crescent is also a symbol for the religion of Islam. The star is the planet Venus, and Swami uses this star and crescent. Yeah, Brother Manoj, is it you? Okay, never mind. So Swami uses this star and crescent as an example for our unwavering faith for God, as the star is interpreted as a guiding light, a representation of divinity, while the crescent moon symbolizes progress, new beginnings, and faithful coexistence of all things in the universe. And to walk with God, we must have unwavering faith that He exists. So therefore, faith is an extremely important element in our walk with God. When we put our faith in God, we will not be disappointed. Sairam. All right. Okay, I found from the Bible that, in Hebrews 11 verse 1, is something very interesting about faith. It says, now faith is being sure of what we hope for and certain of what we do not see. Faith is being sure of what we hope for and certain of what we do not see. It explains faith so accurately, right? And in Christianity, faith is of three types. One is initial faith, which is given to us by God as a seed necessary for our walk with God. The second type is acquired faith, which comes by hearing and learning the word of God. And in our case, is the teachings of Swami. And the third one is built up faith, by which whatever faith we have acquired, we must act upon. There must be corresponding action to the faith that we have, and not sit back and do nothing, expecting God to do everything. So it's about putting in effort with the faith we have to work towards benefiting others. Yeah. Sairam, sister.
Yes.
And yes, sister, you take over. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Yes. So again, be like the star that never wavers from the crescent, is fixed and steady faith is our this thing. So like this crescent and the star is very clear. But when I see this, I was like, what strikes me is like we as Hindus, it's quite similar to the Omkaram. Because the Omkaram also has the Chandra and the Bindu, the crescent and it's a dot. The star is represented by the dot. And Swami here wants us to be like the star, which never wavers from the crescent, means that we should do our sadhana with the aim that we should merge and be one with the crescent. And on the same lines, this Omkaram Stotra also mentions, like Omkaram Bindu Samyuktam Nityam Dhyayanti Yogina. Kamadam Mokshadam Chaiva Omkaraya Namo Namaha. So it means that we are the Bindu, the dot, and to this Omkaram from which we have come. And the ascetics, like the ascetics are the dot who always meditate upon the Omkar with such steadiness that they will attain liberation and be one with the Omkar. So this is what inspiration that we get from the crescent and the star, which I refer to as also the Omkaram. So this is my personal like inspiration that I get from this. Sai Ram. We'll go next. Sister Jeannie.
Oh,
I'll-
okay. Sister, you carry on, please.
Okay, I'll read the points to consider and we'll see. The first point to consider is now, what are the moments when doubts arise? Like when we have so much faith in God, but still doubts arise, right? So in such moments, what has helped you regain a sense of steady faith? Sister Jeannie, please take over.
Okay, we have some points here for thought, based on doubts, and faith. So first point for thought is, why do doubts arise? Maybe we would like all participants here to share your view on why do doubts arise? And also, why do people lose faith in God? Why doesn't God hear my prayer? And where is God when someone takes his own life? These are some of the thoughts that we have. So maybe we would like to everyone here to share your thoughts on any one of these. Yeah. Sairam?
Sairam, yeah, sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
Sairam, Sister Jeannie.
Sairam.
Well, doubts arise especially when a situation becomes quite bad. And no matter how much you call out to the divine, you find that, there's maybe hardly any response when you need that response, really need the response at the time. So you sit thinking, oh, I have done so much sadhana, I have done all my best, I have prayed so hard, doubly hard. That is from your own viewpoint. But, all this, it is not happening. And I mean, we're still in this serious situation. That's when doubts start creeping in, One, maybe my prayer or sadhana is not strong enough to counter the difficulties that I'm facing. And next, maybe if my prayers are not loud enough for the Almighty to hear, or there is maybe something that should happen and which has been watered down by this present situation. But at the same time, you find that, you just can't help feeling that, you do need help at that particular juncture when things are really serious. And that's when doubts begin to arise in the mind. So it's not that, you have no faith, but then the doubts creep in at times when, especially during very, very critical times. And that's why when this happens, some people, they just don't have any other recourse except to lose faith in God. That is my view of this, why doubts arise. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sister. Yeah, sometimes we feel that, to overcome doubts, we have to reinforce our faith, But as sister said, sometimes it's not easy. And also, maybe sometimes we also have to ask ourselves, why am I having these doubts, Why? Of course, it's not easy for us to come to any answer because each one of us is different. So we would like to hear from the others as well. What are your thoughts?
Sairam.
Sairam.
Yeah, doubts arise when you don't have self-confidence and full faith in God.
Sorry, sister, can you repeat?
When you don't have self-confidence
Oh,
and also full faith in God.
yes. Yes.
If you have 100% faith in God, then you will leave it to Him.
Yes, I think self-confidence is very important here Correct, sister. Sairam, thank you. From the others?
Saram sister, I think what Sister Kita says is very true. Doubt arise especially when we go through the karma stage, which sometimes can take months or even 1-2 years, you know. So the faith is there, but you don't have the answer while you are going through all those difficulties and suffering, right? You don't have the answer. So what happened was, you still have the faith, you have confidence that, you know, there will be a solution, but you don't know when it will come. But that period of time where you go through the most difficult time is also where you get the closest to the God. Because every day you're asking why like that happened, you know, what is the solution? Of course, at the same time, you are not only praying and asking. You do whatever, you go with the flow, whatever you can to try to solve the solution, right? To find a solution to the problems or difficulties, you know. But actually, you can also say probably God tests you, you know. Karma is also one of the tests also, you know. But after the period when you have gone through months and years, right? You look back, there's a certain kind of satisfaction, because then it showed that, you know, yeah, it's a big karma that I went through, and yet God, Swami still help us, you know. But as long as the time have not the time period you have to go through, definitely there is no shortcut unless you got the God's grace, which most of us might not have it, you know. Right? I think that is the suggestion to get closer to God, right?
Yeah.
Sairam.
Yes, Sairam, thank you, brother. Yeah, it is true, you know, and sometimes in very difficult situations, those are the situations when we are doubting, which actually make us, you know, think deeper, delve deeper to learn who God is, you know, and why we can learn to trust Him, you know. Yes, thank you, Brother James. Yeah. Any more from anyone else?
In the Bible, Christ has got a disciple called Thomas. Apparently, he is always doubting. You know, that's why he has got a nickname, the Doubting Thomas.
Yeah.
So why is it that he's so close to the master, yet the doubts still comes into him? So he say, okay, he doesn't have enough faith. You know, is it because he thinks too intellectually? You know, what causes that doubt in him? So it's a very good question. I've known on one what they call devotee, you know, who at the very beginning is so very much devoted, you know. Swami materialized a ring for him, but then he subsequently left the organization. You know. He said, "Well, I don't think Swami is God, because I saw him there, and I saw him walking towards a handicapped child. You know. Why didn't he, what they call, heal the child? You know? So, you know, why is that mercy not there?" So I think it's because sometimes this, when we think too intellectually, you know, the surrender is not there. That's why doubts arise.
Yeah. Too intellectually, yeah, then yeah. Actually, doubts are usually born out of a troubled mind, no? And then we lose faith. Sometimes we lose faith when something very sad or very bad happens to us or to our close ones. So those are times that we have doubts. I think doubts are inevitable, but what we have to do is to strengthen our faith in God. Maybe that will help soften, you know, whatever doubts we have. Yeah. So yeah, can we have some more to share?
Sairam.
Sairam.
Yeah. I just shared a video on the group one. Can Brother Willie play that? Because that will answer the third point.
All right,
Why does he not?
Yeah, let me retrieve it. Just give me. Okay, maybe you're keep on talking first, so I'll try to retrieve it.
Why it doesn't
So
come?
do I put this off?
Yeah, okay.
Saira, should I stop sharing this
You can stop sharing while.
for the time being?
Yeah, for the time being. Okay. So,
Yes, okay.
okay. Let me just.
On another occasion, I remember there used to be these beautiful sessions in the veranda, and Swami would come and impromptu come and talk to us boys. And one day, again, Swami started speaking on prayers because we were on prayers. So I thought, let me just discuss this. Another beautiful moment, a personal moment with Swami. On another occasion, I remember.
Okay, can you see my screen? The video?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, all right.
Yes.
There used to be these beautiful sessions in the veranda, and Swami would come and impromptu come and talk to us boys. And one day, again, Swami started speaking on prayers because we were on prayers. So I thought, let me just discuss this. Another beautiful moment, a personal moment with Swami. Swami was talking about prayers, and then he said, at times it happens that your prayers do not reach me. At least you all feel so, that your prayers are not reaching me. But yes, there are times when you pray very fervently, but your prayers do not reach me. Why is it so that when you pray to Swami fervently with all hope in your hearts, but the prayers do not reach me? And then we all started giving all kind of reasons, and you know how, and Swami would say, Oddu, Leda, no, Ledu, Neti, Neti, everything would be no from Swami's end. Because Swami held the cards and he wanted to give us another secret. He said, those were the days, you know, when we used to write letters to Swami. Especially the devotees used to write letters to Swami. And those letters used to come through the postal department. So Swami said, if you want to write a letter to Swami, how would it reach Bhagwan? So some of us said, Swami, first of all, we'll take a letterhead, we'll take an envelope. On that we will write to our dearest Lord Bhagwan Sri Satya Sai Baba. And then after that we will write whatever prayer is there, write and sign off with our name, wrap up that paper, place it inside the envelope, stick the envelope and write on it to Bhagwan Sri Satya Sai Baba, Post Office Prashanti Nilayam, District Anantpur, Andhra Pradesh, pin code 515134, which was the real address at that time, at that moment in time. And after which, Swami said, what will you do? Swami, we will take that letter and put it in the letter box. So Swami said, would that letter reach me? We said, of course, Swami, when we have written the letter, we have addressed it correctly, placed it inside, stuck it properly, and posted it to you, so it is bound to reach you. Swami said, no, the letter will not reach me. So we said, why, Swami? What has gone wrong in this? Swami said, the most important ingredient has been missed out by you. Swami, what is that most important ingredient? Swami said, that postage stamp of ₹10, you have not affixed on that letter, so how will I get that letter? First of all, it is a probability that the postal department may not send me the letter. And if the letter does travel through some error, I may refuse it because the postman will say that you have to pay double the amount to receive this letter. So why should I pay money to receive your letter? So that letter may not reach me. So you have to ensure that in all your prayers, you need another postage stamp. But when you pray to Swami physically, in front of a picture, in front of a photograph, in front of the samadhi, in front of Swami's presence, how do you pray and what is that postage stamp which you need to put? So Swami said, if you want your prayers to be effective, if you want to ensure that every time you pray and your prayers reach me directly, ensure to put a postage stamp of personal sadhana on all your prayers. When all your prayers are there supported by personal sadhana, all your prayers will directly reach me without any hassles, without any problems. And then, we discussed amongst ourselves, Swami, what is the personal sadhana we must do? So very simple, Swami would say. 10 minutes of meditation every day, 10 minutes of Namasmarana every day, and 10 minutes of reading Sai literature every day. If we do, brothers and sisters, can we not spare just half an hour every day to ensure that our prayers are more effectively reaching Bhagwan straight like a jet? So all Swami says is 10 minutes of meditation, 10 minutes of Namasmarana, and 10 minutes of reading Sai literature. So dear brothers and sisters, on this holy day, as we sit here and pray to Bhagwan, let us all resolve that on this holy day, we will all start practicing something nice. Because, every New Year's, we do have a lot of resolutions. So on this particular New Year's Day, let us resolve that we will ensure that personal sadhana becomes an important ingredient of our lives, so that whenever we sit down to pray, we know that Swami, all the prayers are reaching. And what do we do when we pray? They say that when you pray, you are talking to God. But when you meditate, God is talking to you. It is just that it is only in silence that the voice of God can be heard. So it is very imperative that when we pray, we talk to God, but when we meditate, God is wanting to talk to us. We have to ensure that our inner systems are cleansed so that we are able to listen to Him through our inner ears and not the outer ears.
Thank you so much, Brother Kumar. It's a beautiful video.
It's such a wonderful video, and it clears a lot of our doubts here. Yeah, Sai Ram. Sister Kamalesh to carry on. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Sai Ram, Sister Jenny just came in. So it's a beautiful video on Swami, and Brother Kumar just brought it right at the time. But the question which you had, why the doubts arise. So the doubts arise because sometimes we need things very dearly. I mean, our desires are very strong to achieve that. And there is a question of patience which trying not to give us. Because Swami is trying to teach us the patience, because there'll be prayers that will be heard, but there's a timing for that. And maybe this patience is the one thing which we have, once we have. And if that patience, if we say that yes, it is coming, but maybe I have to go through this karma, I have to go through this sort of trouble. That is what happens when the doubts, that is what happened when we don't have that patience in us. And at the same time, as in this video, it was said that sadhana is there, but the stamp of sadhana we have to do. But I think there are a lot of devotees who have been doing sadhana for many years, and they have, in fact, they do much more than 10 minutes, but still they suffer. So it doesn't mean that there is the postage stamp and the prayers are not sincere. The thing is that first of all, we don't have the total surrender, because once we have the total surrender in Swami, we will accept whether pain or pleasure. That is what the main feature of Bhagavad Gita was, that in pleasure and pain we have to accept it, and total surrender when it comes, we will not have any doubt. Because even the prayer, even we are suffering, still we'll say that Swami, it's your desire. Swami, it's you have given me this pain, and maybe I need to go through. So the doubts arise only when we don't have total surrender and the patience. So that's what I feel, that people lose faith in God because of lack of these two things, patience and total surrender. Saira.
Thank you, Brother Coach. Yeah, would anyone else like to?
Saram, can I add a point? Hold on for me.
Sure.
Sorry, a lot of firecrackers. Okay. I think Manoj brought out a very important point, which I do agree. Swami does teach us to be patient and tolerant. I give you a very good example of being a meditator. You know, although I've been meditating for 40 years, have got good experience and all that, not always I will have that experience. And many of the old meditators, good meditators, also tell me the same thing. Many times they won't have good meditation. Then, if you don't have the patience and the tolerance and go through, right, you will never reach the meditation level. So whether the meditation is good or bad, as a meditator, it doesn't matter. There's a reason why sometimes the meditation is difficult. Sometimes when the world is suffering or some parts, some difficulties, it also can affect your meditation. So doesn't mean every meditation is going to feel good and all that. So a lot of people who want to learn meditation or practice have a misconception that, oh, meditation should be very good. But it's also a test whether you will continue to meditate even you don't have good meditation. This is something that meditators all have to go through. In life, also the same thing. Not everything is smooth, but yet we have to go through the difficult thing, hold on to Him. You know, it's just that we are evolving. Salam.
Thank you, Brother James.
So
Uh,
also, I think one more point I just want to add on is that, you see, when we start our life, when we begin life, I think it's very critical for parents to impress upon the child the program of life. Life's programming is very important, the scheme of life. You see, if they know that you are going to swim in the ocean, there will be waves. And that has to be impressed. So if the child is made to understand, like taken to a temple, continuously taken to a prayer place, a bhajan, like these are things where you have a hook on us. If there's a hook and we know that whenever we are saying something, there is somebody hearing us, someone who's listening to us. That's a very, at its very deep, impressionable psychological impression that is caused. It's only happening during the younger days, the child days, 0 to 7, 0 to 8, 9, 10. Those are the very formative years in which this powerful impression must be planted inside. Then the whole program of life is to be made to understand, because whatever said and done, however great, however intellectual, however rich, however it is, there will come a time in this entire scheme of life, a fall will be inevitable. It is an inevitable nature that a person will rise and a person will fall, because it's circumstances and situations of this nature. If you didn't fall in your exam, you may fall in say business. If you don't fall in business, some fall is inevitable. This is if you are not going to be prepared for that, then that's why Baba said, love my uncertainty. Nothing is certain in this world. So that kind of programming must be instilled from very young age. Then when they participate in the world and we go through the fall, the fluctuations and all that, they will have they will fall, but they won't fall like a brick, but they'll fall like a ball. They know how to bounce back. So a doubt is all the time may come, but you will not unhook yourself from the earlier age where you hooked onto a temple or hooked onto a faith in God, hooked on that unhooking won't take place. But you may have several doubts here why this is happening and all that, but the faith will not go. I think this is the most critical point, because if that unhooking takes place, it is very difficult to get sanity, sensibility, serenity, tranquility, all that will go off. So this is something that we really must emphasize when we are bringing children to the world and grooming the children to face the world, especially today's world. This is a very important point. Then they will know how to develop faith. Baba said in one lecture, Swami said, discuss, why is the faith necessary? What is a necessity for you to have faith? You know, Swami's reply is so profound. Swami said, if you don't even have faith, love will not grow. Can you imagine? If you do not have faith that it is your mother, that love won't grow. That's why for love to grow, first thing is the faith. So for everything that love must expand, must grow, must reach to a higher height. So for that alone, faith is necessary. So it's a very important subject. This particular thing is a very important subject, but it has to be developed. Then coming back to the doubting Thomas's intellect, they've seen a lot of people also. It's actually, when you look at that, they keep on questioning. Sometimes you feel very sympathetic because they're not able to, they are so much caught up in the, like what Billy said, they're so much caught up in that intellectual plane, they cannot experience it. They want to analyze it. And the intellect is not allowing them to go and experience it. And then in itself is a little, it's like a barrier, it's a gate, they can't reach there. And the only way you can do that is to pray. Oh Lord, may my intellect allow me, release me from this for me to experience that particular thing. Because unless we let it go, you don't come. So it's all a process. Everything is a phase, and everything will have to reach its point, but we need to slowly unfold and slowly blossom and let go. And this type of satsangs encourages that blossoming to take place.
Yes, Sairam. Thank you, Brother Suresh. Yeah, actually, fortunate are those children whose parents are able to guide them, because most parents themselves are not guided also. So they are not able to guide their children in this sense. So those who are being guided well are really fortunate.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So
Question number 4, sister.
Yeah.
Yes.
One more thing is that, you see, what you said, Jeannie, was so appropriate, because today when they come out, the father is too busy and the mother goes to work, and so the children is just is just sort of stranded, left back, and then sporadically. But those days, when the children are growing, the mother stays there with the child, and then there's a lot of grooming taking place. So there's a lot of there's a lot of stability coming into the child's mind. There's a lot of kind of an aura that is totally different from now. And now most people spend much time in the technology. So there's a void, there's a vacuum. And this vacuum is expressed in the later ages as all these doubts, depression, sadness, loneliness cannot grip through. All this is manifested like this. But if that was done in the earlier stage, it would have been good. But again, these are the things that we need to, even the parent care program, instill back this particular confidence levels, because it is a very deep, the age that is going to come is deep, because in the next 30 years, the science says the next 30 years, what changes will take place cannot be compared to the 1,000 years, the last 1,000 years. So with these massive changes taking place, there will even be more doubts coming inside if we do not have the hook onto faith, you see. So we are going through some stormy phases, but the only way to go through this is to have amazing amount of faith in God.
Yeah, brother, nicely said. I think, as you said, that father is working and mother is also working. So I think it's very important that the parents, even if they're single, they're staying together with a child, I think they can build up a culture in the house.
Mm.
A silent prayer room should be there. The father or mother make a point 10 minutes also. So they don't have to force the child. The child will learn that this is also a routine, like a brushing your teeth, taking shower. So my father does, and he sits in the prayer room for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, depending on his time, or mother. So if that culture is made up, I think that hooking will be very easy, because the child, if there's a lot of television and a lot of friends outside and a lot of playing and everything, so the quieter moment is really becoming short and short. So I feel that the elders in the house, or the parents, if there are no elders, the parents have the great responsibility to instill that. And they don't have to force the child. They teach them by example. So a shrine or a prayer room or a quiet room for meditation is enough. And tell the child, go and sit. Before going to school, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, just go and sit before going to school. So that what happens, that a habit is instilled. And then what happens, that when the child is troubled, we can say, go and sit quietly and see, you will get the answer. So these sort of techniques parents can use to bring that culture of connecting to God in the child. I think that should be a good approach for those nucleus families where only there are no elders to guide the children. Saira.
Nice.
Yeah, thank you, Brother Manoj. Yeah, the lack of good parental care could be what leads some young people to commit suicide, as in our last point here. And then we ask, where is God when someone takes his own life? Huh? Yeah, can someone share on this?
Where is God when someone takes his own life? Yeah, for that person, sort of person, a God-fearing person will not do the commit suicide. So it means for him the God was not existed before in his life also. What I feel. So the feeling that the depression comes is the lack of faith in God and accepting the challenges of life. These people are not very, very strong enough to face the challenges. So because what happens that the problems will come in life, everybody's life, but then what happens that a lot of people, they give up, and these are the people who commit suicide. But if we have the faith, okay, the stress will come, sleep or read or go to the friends or go to the prayers and all. If these sort of things, if they're used to it, maybe slowly they'll find the energy building up from within, and the self within them will give them the strength to face the challenge. So this is where it's very important that some connection, a social circle or connected with temple or something like that, or like centers like ours will help for these people. Saira.
Yeah, Sairam. I think when why people take their own life is maybe they reach a point where they have no other solution, they don't know what else to do. And taking their own life is like the easiest way out. It's very sad. And yeah, so we really don't understand also. That's why we feel that it's not fair also for us to ask when somebody takes his own life, and then we ask why, because to that person there's just no reason. There's just end of the road for him. So how to find an answer, because I've known of one very successful lawyer who was living amongst his friends. He was so normal, so happy and everything, and the next thing we heard is that he committed suicide, and it came as a big shock. But how to ask the question why in a situation like that? No, we will never know.
Sairam.
Yeah, maybe that person also doesn't really know, just that he has no way out already. Maybe that's
Sairam sister.
yes.
Sairam sister.
Yes.
Can I just share? Can I just share? It's something like, you see, the conditions that couldn't have made a person really understand and see clearly. And even those that, amounts like you have mentioned, you have a friends who are lawyer. I had a friends who are lawyer, also have date in this way. It's because when it comes to certain conditions, we won't be able to see it clearly, and the particular persons had not reached out to the correct one, even though they have some faith in certain God or certain names of God that they believe in, but yet with a situation and conditions that they couldn't break through, and that is where the depressions come in, and where they isolate themselves because of the mind, the thoughts that bring them out away from friends and everything. And I feel that, yes, as what you have mentioned, is very sad. Actually, a lot of things that it depends about the surrounding, the understanding, and the conditionalities that the person is facing, you know. And karmas play a very big part where who you meet, you know. And every minute, every time, where we see the things, it really depends on how your mind, the individual mind, work out, and the situation, environments happening, you know, a lot of things that when you're facing this type of thing, unless the individual willing to open up and speak, if a person who dare not speak out and share with someone they trust, or sometimes they feel too embarrassed to share. So that is where the bottom lines, you know, it really shut themselves out. So when it comes to faith, I think if a person's with the surrounding of like you know, some spiritual friends around, that's why it's very, very important we have this type of spiritual friends around us to really pull us up, you know. So the main thing is that, yes, no matter how much we pray, sometimes it's the mind that play out our life. So we have to be more careful with our own so-called this mind, yeah, or else we are really pulling down to the world. That is my sharing. You know, sister, I hope you get my point.
Yes, I do. Yes.
Yeah.
Very true. What you said is very true. Actually, you mentioned mine yesterday, Brother Suresh, and during the satsang, Brother Suresh said, you know, our mind, you know, it was on the Atma, but you know, it's our mind, you know, that makes us do things, you know. So we must not let this mind control us.
Yes, but it's very difficult to for this worldly world is you see the pulling of the energy is more stronger than the individuals that you will be able to watch out the mind. But then the thing is that is some things like we need to have this type of good spiritual friends that you know can keep on giving encouragement and to forward a lot of messages and sharing among each and every one, you know. That is very important in order to still continue, or else we will also dive into the worldly matters.
Yes. Actually, the problem is when a person is contemplating taking his own life, that person must be in the deep depression. And when a person is in deep depression, the mind doesn't work well anymore.
Yes,
So
definitely.
he may be surrounded by people who are spiritual or very good family or things like that. And yet, somehow, he just cannot pull through
it
that.
Cannot break through. Yeah, it's just only a moment of time. If let's say
a moment,
yes, there is a person or anything that you know can break through on that particular moment, and he or she will be free, you know. so this is where even the suicidals do prayers himself or herself, but the moment is the moments that have been trigger the persons to do some things that is it doesn't make sense to anyone, yeah, because it's educated, yeah, and professional, but yet nevertheless this is the conditions that it had been you know, accumulated, yeah. So this is where we if anyone, you know, we have to be reach out to keep on speaking and talking to whoever's that, especially the depressed person, yeah.
If we can
Yeah.
tell, if we can see that that person is in trouble, then we can
Yes.
try to reach out.
Yes.
No,
Yeah.
otherwise
This
we also would know. Yeah.
yes.
Until it's too late.
Of course, it's something like you can see if a person is very active and he suddenly he become isolated. Yeah, this is where the depression is creep in already. So I mean nowadays many yeah.
Yes,
So
yes.
that's why Brother Suresh is very good, especially you know to go into to humans and bring them out.
Go into our minds. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Anyway, just my sharing. Yeah.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, Saram.
Yes.
So we had this experience in New Zealand when we went there for one day, when we had a youth camp in New Zealand. So when they were having the camp, people were just walking around, and then I saw casually people asking, "Have you taken the pills?" And lunchtime also, I heard people, "You took the pills, you took the pills." So I thought there was some vitamins or something like that. Then only I later realized that they're popping this pills, they go and see a psychiatrist, and whenever you see any psychiatrist, they always, when you come out, they'll prescribe pills. So many of them were on this type of pill. So they said, why
Tranquilizer. Yeah.
So they said, this is a culture here that everybody takes some kind of things. And New Zealand is a very high suicide country, one of the highest actually suicide countries. So later on, what we did was we managed. I'm shortening the story. So we managed to contact a counselor, a suicide counselor, and I told them the secret of this is, I think what the mistaken option is, you are talking about this and all that. The aim of this talk should be directed towards normal people. Why you want to talk to normal people? Because normal, ordinary people should be able to know what the peculiarities of other people are. For example, when somebody is quiet, so when someone is not talking, when someone is withdrawn, you already can sense something is wrong. So you are empowered to know the language of that, and therefore you reach out to such people. So better to empower normal people, ordinary people. How would you detect such behavior before they come to this suicide point? So this workshop was created for that purpose, and a lot of them were subjected to the workshops. So this was going on for weeks like that. They conducted these training workshops. Later on, for one Guru Purnima, when I went to Puttaparthi, so some of these ladies who were there from New Zealand, Swami, he said, "Brother, the day the workshops were conducted, I will tell you, it really saved a lot of people's lives, because we were able to pick up certain behavioral patterns in certain things, and we were able to coach people and sensitize them." So the big trick of the game is that because we are spiritual, that means all the others who are spiritual, we should become sensitive. This is another expression of spirituality, sensitivity. So when you are sensitive, you will see certain people's thing. We already have in our sense something is not very right. So then comes the extension of love. So because of the love, you extend your care, your concern, you ask, you question. So slowly you will be able to help the individual to uplift his mood, inspire him to have different thinking. That is the biggest seva. The greatest seva we can do is, yes, give food and all that. But this seva you are doing is literally lifting him up from the kind of thinking to a higher level of thinking. So why you're thinking like that? What is the necessity for you to think? So only love can change them. Only love and care can transform them. That is what this, and especially if the love is selfless in its nature, intense in its nature, you can always change any individual. And that is the power of Atmic love. Yeah, by the way, it's not the love coming from pseudo mind. No, it's from the Atmic sense of love. We can help to transform the fluctuating mind. You see, even love transference is not from the body to body. Body to body is just lust only. It's no big deal. Mind to mind is just that infatuation and all that. But when it comes to Atmic love, that has the power to change. That power of selflessness comes from that source. So if you radiate our love from that Atmic love to an individual desiring this change, there will be a lot of transformation taking place in that individual. So we have got power. What I'm trying to mention is all of us are empowered with that power. How you know we have got that power? Because Bhagavan never said, he's not addressing the weak body, the fickle-minded mind, and the dissipated intellect. No, he's telling us, he didn't say brothers and sisters of Malaysia or Zone 4. He never said ladies and gentlemen. He just the avatar's word, avatar's word. That word is a mantra word. One word he uttered. What is that? Atma Sarupa. Embodiments of the Atma. That's it. It's direct. Can you imagine the penetrating word is used on us? Is you also relate yourself from that Atma. Don't relate for yourself from the name, from the physical identity, from the mental infatuation, or from the intellectual assertion. All these are just illusion. You are the Atma. From that Atma, that is the first faith in God. Swami said, you know why we are not having faith? Because we lost faith in Atma. That is the first faith we should have, Atma Swarupa. The Atma Swarupa, you must have faith that we are the Atma. So the other 4 layers, other 3 layers will deceive us. But it is only the 4th one that is the reality. So when you connect to that Atma, when you connect to have faith in Atma, you will have faith in God, because Atma is God. Your Atma is God. So that is what this whole process of questioning should be. Once you have that faith and you animate love from that direction, oh, everything is fantastic. Then we have a self-transformative energy with you, which you can influence your own life and influence other people's life. That's why we are Sai movement, Sai people, the devotees, we have got a role to play in this world. A very, very big role, I'm telling you. 114 countries, we are dispersed. We are thousands and thousands of people. We are like a huge, big dynamo inside us, huge dynamo. We are here for some big reason, but we need to understand why we are here. And that is why this purification, this cleansing, this sanctification, all these things must take place so that we become available. That's why the prayer, you see, Billy started with the prayer and he finished off, take my everything and let me be an instrument to the final prayer. Can you imagine? God suddenly appeared in our houses and appeared, yes, I've come to take everything. What do you mean? No, just now, remember you prayed in the satsang, take my everything and let me be an instrument. So I've come to take everything. Oh, no, God, please don't. I just said it as a prayer. I didn't mean what I said. But now the thing is, take my everything means every aspect, every ideology, every conceptual framework, every kind of thinking, every intellectual analysis, all take it away, man, for heaven's sake. I don't need any of these things. What do you want? Nothing. Take it away. Let me be an instrument to work for thee. Then we are a power. That power, when we have, once we have that kind of empowerment within ourselves, wow, sky is the limit. We can do so many things in wondrous ways.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Just to share one, like yesterday I was talking to a Sai friend. So one of his uncle is sick. So and now is in bad condition. So I just asked him how was his before. This uncle is a Sai family. So this uncle of him is for 20 years is on bed and on wheelchair. 20 years that man is suffering. But he said that he used to do all his work. He used to even do his office work and business work also. So just think that person for 20 years on the bed, on a wheelchair, and living a life, and no complaint. So what do you feel? You say the people a little thing and they do commit suicide. And this man for 20 years on the bed and still, just because he's from a Sai family and he had the faith in Sai. So this is another example that how the faith can take you through all this journey of suffering and still be happy. So we should share this sort of knowledge that we can with these sort of people, that people have lived and they have lived a fruitful life even in dire situations and still they were happy. So this is what the family surrounding, as the sister said, the friends, family, that company, it makes a lot of difference. So that the person is always uplifted, listening to Swami's literature, reading, and all those sort of things. And that's where the 10 minutes of Sai reading, Sai literature is a really an uplifting thought, and it will give you the strength and it build up the faith. So I think we have to give these sort of examples of these sort of Sais.
If I may share something here, I remember the Ramayana story. There's one part, if I remember correctly, where I think Lakshmana suddenly become very restless. So he couldn't understand why. And then Rama was then telling him that just now, Lakshmana was seated. He set himself on a piece of rock, and that piece of rock, some demons have came to sat on it. Okay, so the vibration, the very bad vibrations were there. And because he sat on it, not knowing that the vibrations, that he absorbed those bad vibrations. So this is where there are stories whereby when we move house, we got to be very careful. We must do some yajna to neutralize the vibrations of the house. Because why? That the house, you may move to a new place, but that place has been a lot of quarrels, So the negative vibrations have been absorbed into the walls, into the houses. Unless you do some prayers to neutralize it, you will be affected by those vibrations. So vibration is something. And Swami is very particular on who his students will mix with, especially when they go back home for holidays. And this is where some of his students were from non-Sai schools, and then they came over. And when they go back, most likely they will mixed with their old classmates, which were, former classmates, which are not from the Sai environment. And that's why Swami is not happy that his students mix with their old friends. Because people's vibration will affect us. And this is where satsang is very important. So because our mind is very vulnerable, can be easily affected by vibrations. So if we are in the same like-minded groups and we always talk about, good things, God, so our vibration is high, okay? So especially now that the world is becoming, vibration is becoming more and more worse, so we got to really be in satsang with good people, I'm known of very staunch devotees, and after some time they don't mix, they're probably too busy, they don't join satsang, and suddenly we heard that they have left they have lost their faith and they have left for some other groups. Yeah. Side up like that.
Yeah, just want to share. In one of the Baba's book, I read that, the Parikshit, who was a great king who, from descendant from the Pandavas family. So what happened that he was cursed that within 7 days he will die. So Baba written that few days before, he opened the treasure of the king or the Yudhishthira, and then he saw that there's a very nice looking headgear. So what happened that it was so attractive that he put it on his head, and it was one of the king called Shishupal or somebody who was a very bad king during those time, and he left it. So Baba has written that just because he wore the headgear of that king, he was a very pure king. He was very nice, ruling the kingdom very well. But that wearing of that headgear once, it so happened that when he went for hunting and there he saw that he was thirsty and the rishi was praying, and then the rishi didn't respond, so he threw a dead snake on his body, and that's why when the son of that rishi cursed Parikshit that he will die within 7 days. So just think that I really thought that what pure soul he was, that by just wearing the headgear of that bad king, it changed his mind for 1 second, that he was in rage and he threw the dead snake on the rishi, and that was the cause of his death. So it's amazing to hear that these vibrations carry from not only the house surroundings, even wearing the old dress or old clothes of the people. So I really felt that, I mean, these are the things which we should also consider, thinking that mind is very fickle nowadays, and it has chances of changing with all these outside surroundings, and that's why satsang is very, very important. Saira.
I just want to also say one experience we had. Both Brother Jaga and myself were invited to go to Sydney during the track sessions. And the Sydney boys, for 6 months, they rehearsed a play called Mahabharata. Title of the play, Mahabharata. That entire play was for 3.5 hours, full length. They were rehearsing. And then they invited us for the track sessions. So both of us took the flight, reached there. And so this was a Saturday night. So Saturday evening, they staged that play, full play, 3.5 hours. So when it came to Dushasana, they were pulling the sari of Draupadi. My God, it was so evil, the Dushasanas, but the acting was so good, was so realistic. And he was pulling the sari. She was pulling the sari, she was Draupadi was screaming away. It was really dramatic, very, very dramatic. And everybody acted so well, and because this is not a tape, a video tape, it's not recorded, it's live, so they have to memorize all the lines. And after the play was over, everybody gave a standing ovation and everything else. Next day morning is my session, the talk. And my talk title was As the Mind, So the Man. That was my topic. So this is a tea break. After tea break is my session. So I went to the washroom. I was washing my hands. What is Swami's, this is Bhagwan's grace, Swami's amazing miracle. And while I was washing my hands, Dushasana, the one who acted today, Dushasana, he entered the washroom. And so I called, hey, yesterday you acted so well. It was really amazing. And suddenly I thought about, so how long have you been rehearsing this? He told me he has been rehearsing this for 6 months. So then I asked him, hey, okay, tell me, how has your life been in the last 6 months? You will not believe this, brothers and sisters. He told me, I'm just waiting for this play to finish. I'm so fed up. I just want to finish. I said, why? What happened? So how has your life? Brother, I have become more and more angry. I was never in a relationship. Now I went into a relationship. My mother is very upset with me. I'm fighting with every member in my family. I was a total vegetarian. Now I eat meat. So if everything went the other way around when he was acting as Dushasana. He was actually, his whole behavior was changing. He said, I just want to finish today's play. I just want to return back normal. Just then, you see, what is the chances of this? At that moment, guess who? Arjuna walked in, the one who acted Arjuna the previous day. Arjuna walked in. So I asked Arjuna the same question. How is your life? Oh, brother, very nice, brother. Everything was good. He doesn't know what I conversed with Dushasana. Dushasana was standing there. So Arjuna, I asked Arjuna. He said, my life I got a promotion. I'm very happy. Everything is good. So everything is fantastic. In the last 6 months, quite a lot of positive things happened, and he was positive. Then I told these two guys, hey, listen, next is my talk, okay? My topic is As the Mind, So the Man. Can I invite both of you to come on the stage? If I call you, will you come on the stage and actually tell your exact experience? He said, yeah, we're very So you see how Baba's grace. What are the chances of these two people coming there? And then I'm inviting them onto the stage. And that became an evidence to show that as you keep on repeating certain thinking, it changes your thoughts. That thoughts changes your vibration. Vibration changes your character. Your whole habits are changed. Your personality itself changes in 6 months. So this is the reason why when you do a play, especially when you're doing a negative role, you need to know how to unentangle yourself from the role. In drama, when you're doing a negative role, you should, when you finish the role, there is an exercise where you should take out yourself from the vibration. So I've seen that in India, the Kathakali and all this, those roles people play, there is a ritual that you must take your role out. Otherwise, that vibration will keep with you. In Baba's place also, Swami's place, you'll notice none of the characters there who act in the play will be negative or so terribly evil. They will do it in such a way that it is not projected or highlighted or emphasized. The most of the place in Swami's place there. So there is even when you imitate certain negative thing, it will come to you. Yeah, now we talked about Billy talked about the vibrations of the wall, the food, we talk about friends, but even imitating, emulating, acting, all these things also can bring in the vibration. So it is a very important, that's why I said just now, spirituality, another act, and it will lead to sensitivity. The more and more spiritual you become, the more and more sensitive we'll become. We'll pick up these things, and that is the most important thing, so that we become vigilant over what we are picking up from the world. It is important also for our spiritual sadhana. I just wanted to share with you the experience.
Yeah, very interesting and it's quite scary also. Yeah, no, we think that only animate things contain energy. But Brother Manoj's story and also what Brother Billy shared just now, have proven to us that even inanimate things, also contain energy and vibrations. So we have to be very careful with what we acquire in life, objects and things, Yeah, so yes, thank you. Thank you very much, Brother Suresh. Yeah. Any more sharings?
Sorry, can I add one more story? I think very interesting about this, Suresh Manoj talking about. There is another thing that is very common about actor and actress. We see all those ghost story and all that. When they do the acting, the filming, all that, these people have to do a lot of prayers. And if they don't do it properly, a certain bad thing can happen to them. Because they're acting, on the evil side or the devil side and all that, And it's true, it happened to, Hong Kong actor and actress. That's why I heard, Sairam.
So it's very scary. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think nowadays with so much of social media, so much of information, so they are good, they are bad. Before social media was there, now Swami has said that TV is highly poison. And now with social media, so much of videos flying now we are now in a very frightening, a very terrible time now, because that's why we got to be very careful with what we see on the WhatsApp, things like that. Because why? These poison are coming, and without knowing it, we take a lick of it, and then that affects us. So you'll be very careful with it.
I think before sleep, we should read something very good, because that will decide the quality of your sleep. And that will, sleep is good, then the day is fresh and you can do better things. And those thoughts which are put in the sleep, they linger around and slowly they do a very cleansing part in your mind, so that when you start your day with the next day, it will be the good thought.
That's why the two prayers that Brother Billy shared last time, they are very important. The night prayer and the morning prayer. Yeah, they protect us. Okay, so yeah, any more?
Sister Sairam, sister.
Sairam.
Okay, now this is what Shirdi Baba says about suicide. He says, you must bear the fruit, good or bad, of your past actions. If it is incomplete, suicide won't help you. You have to take another birth and suffer again. So instead of killing yourself, why not suffer for some time and finish up the fruit of your past deeds and be done with it once and for all? Sairam, sister.
Yeah, but not all who take their own life and know about this,
Yes,
this,
yes, that is
yeah.
true.
Yes.
But talking about that point which you raised, there are a few things we must bear in mind. There are people in this world, like lawyers, as you mentioned earlier, who may have a sickness. Sickness, huh? The sickness is a disease of the mind. And if it's a disease of the mind, then it's very difficult for any ordinary person to what you call to decondition them. They need professional help. And if they are on a denial mode and they don't believe that anything is wrong with them, then the toll takes on, and there comes a time when they break, and that could be suicide. There are others who are burdened with enormous problems like sickness and disease. And for years and years, they have been praying to God and nothing happens. And they have got family responsibilities and they do not know what to do. And then they think that the best way would be to take their life because they are useless to the community or to the family. So it all depends on the situation. So how do we resolve this? We need to have a good community where everybody is aware of their social responsibilities, like the temple, the Buddhist center, the mosque, and other teachers. Very good organizations taking place in a city. And they are all on the lookout. And as they mix around, they keep their eyes focused, and then they will try and help. They are like little gods helping people to come out of their problems. Sometimes, not sometimes, it works. It works because there are many people who come back home to say that the day was good because they met somebody and then somebody enlightened them on a way of life or situation, there's sudden relief, and the thing gives them a new way, a new thought, a new wave of thought, and then it changes. So that is the situation. That's the situation. I would like to add one more thing. You see, we have the ROSE program conducted by Sister Gita. And this ROSE program is so well structured. So well structured. It has a beautiful introduction. It has got a silent setting, which is very magical. And then it has got core values, which are very simple but striking. And then she goes on to get to the next stage, a story based on that value. And then that value has got very good vibrations, very good a thought for the day like. And then after that, there are activities like group activities. And then a song. All these now gives them a kind of a rhythm on how life works the whole day. And when they go back home, it goes on, they can think about it. And one thing is sure, good value has settled to them. It's unfortunate that only about 50 or 35 students who have this benefit. If only we had more classes, more students for the awareness, I think we can solve this social problem like what we are talking about regarding taking one's own life. Sairam, sister.
Thank you so much. Yeah, program is very useful. Yes, Sairam, sister.
Yeah, Sairam, I just want to pose a questions to Brother Suresh, and I hope that he will be able to answer, because you see, this is something Sairam, Brother Suresh, it's something like whatever happening at what we say at the moment is just an effect. Okay, so how do you go into cause, in order to solve the effects, how do you go into the cause? That means it's deep into our mind, So maybe Brother Suresh will be able to help to answer this. Thank you, Sarah.
Ram. Actually, what you see in anybody's behavior or what you see in any event is the effect. That you are right. That means this is what is the outcome. And always for an effect to take place, there must be a cause at some point earlier in life. So knowledge is when you see, understand, analyze the effects. It is when you go back to the cause of it, that is where wisdom is necessary. Knowledge can come maximum up to the body, mind, intellect. That is maximum. That's all intellect can do. Give you ideas. But it is the Atma that gives you the betterment of the wisdom to decide what the cause is. So whenever anything is done or any problem that is existing, any effect that is there, to seriously see the picture in a bigger light, the depth of silence is very, very critical. That's what Billy went for, that silent camp. When you're deeply going down into silence, you are transcending the physical, transcending the mind, transcending the intellect. All the three screens are open. You get a chance to peep into your own Atma. When it is at the Atmic level, that is what we call the seabed level, you're not at the top of the levels of the mind. At the seabed level, it is there you will get insights. It is these insights that enable you to address the problems, because it will give you, oh, I never thought about that. Oh, I never thought about that. That I never thought about that comes from this depth. So every problem can have a solution, provided you move deeper and deeper into the realms of your own spiritual silence. So we need to achieve that status. And once we achieve that status, certain bubbling insights will give you the answers.
Yeah, this is what you are mentioning about the insight depth.
Yeah.
What I'm saying, you see when you are sharing about all these things here, I still need your guidance. If that some things like, how do you watch it to the extent of you can feel that is that you really have touched on the deep the depth of it. Beside you see that, I able to, you see, I able to solve a problems by only watching at it and able to solve. Yes, you have worldly wisdom, but when it comes to our spiritual wisdom, there will be so much different. Yeah. So brother, maybe I hope one day you can give a course of it.
Yeah, because brother, I think the question is a little bit different. You are using your mind to make you understand what the depth of your spiritual experience is. It's not going to happen for life.
Okay.
So long because it's a wrong tool. The wrong tool is you're using the mind to analyze and infer what is the spiritual experiences. That is why when you move away from that measurement and you really go to the depth of it, there is no necessity for you to analyze. You already know it. You already become aware of it. You just know it because that's what it is. Oh, I got it. This is what is called a revelation. This is how the word Sruthi came by, not Smriti. Sruthi from all the way is this revelation comes in. And with that revelation, you will realize, my God, this is it. This is it. This is the answer. You know it. There's no necessity for anybody to cross-examine and analyze. So that depth, that comes from this extreme sense of the faith that we have. And we all have got the power. All of us have got that power. And actually, to be honest, at different points in life, we have already experienced it. It's just that by the time you a little bit experience, and then, we always conclude, oh, lucky we got the answer. Oh, lucky we got this answer. We just dismiss it. But actually, this is the guiding principle of our entire existence. Whenever there is, we always get to the depth. But we don't sort of reverentially acknowledge that particular experience. So the main thing is that we just keep on going down, 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 then these insights will just come in. We don't need to analyze it using the mind. In fact, it transcends the mind.
Okay, when you're talking about transcend the mind, it's something like that just share some tips of how skillful you are
No,
to
no, no, the one is now is sister, now is 22:01, 10:01. We just crossed across 1 minute. It's a good,
okay. So, Brother Suresh, I really look forward to really you announce that. Give us a class of how from day one. When I'm young, I follow your talk until I grow old. So I say, I feel that there's something is really how skillful you are at now this moment of spirituality. So I wish that you can share and really.
Sister, honestly, nothing skillful or anything like that. We just do what we can do. But nevertheless, a lot of the see, for example, today, okay, you look at most of you look at how we have progressed. I want you all to experience this. Last time, you notice one presenter will come, presentation will finish, and then we'll have question like that. Today, you can see Sister Jeannie put one slide, Kamalesh put one slide. See, how 45 minutes you're on this one slide, You know how we are progressing? We are progressing very deeply because the slides are not progressing. With one slide, we have progressed very deep. This is vertical dive. Dive. See, and everybody is talking now. Suddenly, we went to different dimensions. We had so many glimpses. That is real satsang. That is the depth of satsang. The satsang is not about moving information. It's about taking one and dive deep. We're going down. And now oil is gushing out like that. So like this, we explore each area. You'll find deeper and deeper components of our human personality being manifested. This is how we are growing, and it's beautiful to see that we are growing. I hope, dear brothers, only one thing I just like to ask all of you is, if you think that you're benefited, please try and get others people in the center, your center, touch few people, another 5 more people in your center to come along, and then the numbers should expand like that. I think that is what we should do. So
Okay.
thank you so much for this, sister. Very nice. We will definitely come back next week with Jeannie. I'm sure you're not finished, right, sister?
No, we are not finished yet. We have done very little so far. So
Okay,
Sorry,
I want to share. I just very quickly to share what this sister. I don't know your name, but you
Hilda.
only Brother Suresh can answer your question.
Oh,
so
no,
share,
because
I just
I
want
have
to
to
share.
direct to her.
Yeah, I just want to share this little thing about Brother Suresh. Many years ago, I don't know how many years, maybe 20 years ago or so, somebody, when Brother Suresh is giving a talk, somebody saw a halo around his head. So yeah, so Brother Suresh, somebody saw a halo around your head last time. So you are special, yeah. Sairam.
Yes, he is very special. So I hope Brother Suresh will be able to conduct a class regarding about how skillful the way that you are going to look into the mind, and please help us and help me. Please, I cannot speak of others.
20 years ago, instead of focusing on what I'm saying, they're focusing on hello, focusing on all other things.
I'm focusing on what you say. I focus on what you say. Okay.
So, thank you so much, Sairam.
Yes,
We'll meet again next week.
Thank you all so much.
Thank you, everyone.
Sister Kamlesh did so much of work for this presentation. Yeah.
We all work together, sister.
To merge our contents, and then we came up with all this. So okay, Sister Kamlesh, over to you.
Okay, it's finished now, right? The time is done.
Yes, the time is up.
Yes.
We're past the time already. Yeah.
Okay.
We'll do it next week, Saira.
Samasta loka sukhino bhavantu. Samasta loka sukhino bhavantu. Samasta loka sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Saram everyone. Thank you for coming. See you all next week.
Sairam, thank you.
Salam, everyone.
Um,
Thank you.
Saram.
Sairam, thank you.
Sairam, brother. Sairam.
Saram.